Hey everyone, it's Brent the Middleman, your middle age middle manager in Middle America, here today with a new type of video for the channel, a reaction to some pop culture news. And don't worry if this isn't your thing, I'll be back with my regular TV show breakdown really soon. I just wanted to give my opinion on this whole Andrew Tate arrest thing since it's all over YouTube. And if it helps get the channel a few extra views, don't hate me for it. And also, I'm not trying to give this guy's views a platform as there's a lot I disagree with. I just want to talk about what I've been hearing and react to a couple of new statements from his cousin Luke and an ex girlfriend. But first, let's get into a little bit of history. According to what I've seen, the main charges are human trafficking, organized crime, and money laundering. A statement has claimed that Tate and his brother Tristan used what the actual court documents call the lover boy method. This is when a man lures women in with promises of love and marriage in order to exploit them. Well, Tate has admitted on multiple podcasts that he started his business by inviting all his girlfriends to London and that none of them were aware that he was seeing anyone else. He says that three out of the five decided to walk away, and the two that remained helped him start his webcam business. He admits that at its peak, he had 75 girls working for him and his brother Tristan out of multiple locations. He also tells a story of his top earning girl getting drunk and throwing up and telling him to clean it up. So, to avoid looking weak in front of the other girls, he kicked her out and fired her. He even says that when she asked for her money, he just laughed and didn't pay her. But this turned out to be a costly mistake because she went to the police and accused Tate of human trafficking, and this is when he first got on the radar of the police. After this, he and his brother moved their operation to Romania, where he had connections through his kickboxing days. They kept the business going in Romania and even opened up some casinos backed by the local mafia, great idea, which he also talks about on podcasts. The next time Tate admits to being arrested was when they had a party, and according to Tate, one of the girls there had a boyfriend, and he saw her on a social media post partying at the Tate's house. According to Tate, the boyfriend called the American embassy and said that she was being held against her will. So the Romanian police raided Tate's house, took the brothers in for questioning. You may have seen the video of this around the internet, which some channels are using to say they're out of prison. They're not. Again, according to Tate, the police had no evidence that anyone was being held against their will, and they even showed them security footage of the girl going out to get a pizza from the delivery guy and coming back in. Tate also admits that during the raid, the police found other things to potentially charge them with. What this tells me is that the most recent arrest was not because of a Twitter argument with Greta Thunberg, and definitely not because of a pizza box. This has been a growing case for a long, long time, and the Romanian police finally felt like they had enough evidence to make an arrest. This brings me to the reason why I think Tate brought this on himself. He talked about all of these things openly on podcasts. And just like the recent arrests of rappers who admitted to crimes in their lyrics, what Tate has said in public could be what is used to put him away. It doesn't matter whether you love Andrew Tate or hate him, this all looks really bad. Whether they are real charges or it's the Matrix out to get him, it seems like him and his brother are in big trouble. Not only could they face jail time in Romania, it's possible they could go on trial in London in the US since he holds citizenship there as well. So much for escaping the Matrix. So now that you know everything I know about the case, let's take a look at the statement from Tate's cousin Luke, who has been living with the Tates for years, helping to film their Tate Confidential vlog series.
First thing I want to tell you guys is I promise you that Tate is too rich and too smart to do anything illegal. He's been too rich and too smart to do anything illegal for a very, very long time. As long as I've lived with him, I've never seen him do anything illegal at all in any way, shape, or form. Tate also, because he's foreseen of things, he always knew that this would happen. He's told you guys this would happen. He has many interview clips where he said this would happen. It's a three-life process when you're someone that that let's say the Matrix or the mainstream news
Or did he say all
or
that
the
because he
people
knew
in
his charges
charge
were out there?
do not like you. It's a three-step process. First, they try and cancel you. So they tried to cancel Tate. They really did. Unfortunately for them, they failed. So they failed on that end. So if they fail on canceling you, what's the next move? Well, the next move is jail. And by the way, you can see this playbook. They do this playbook with Julian Assange. They do it with credible people. It's what they do. First, they try and discredit you and cancel you, so no one listens to you. If people keep listening to you, then they have to try and discredit you further and try and put you in jail. That's the next move. And that's what the Matrix has done. The Matrix is now trying to put Andrew in jail. It's completely bogus charges, but unfortunately,
Yeah, but
Romania
Assange
is,
had
you
all
guys can look
these
this up, is known for corruption,
had all
and
this
unfortunately,
stuff. What does
corruption
Tate have other
also
than just
works
his
to where
opinions?
if the mainstream and the Matrix wants you, they can find a corrupt judge to sign a bullshit paper to get your house raided. And that's really what it is. It's one judge signs one paper, and now your house gets raided, and then you get, and that's how it goes. That's just how it goes. So obviously, that's all in the news now because that's what it takes to discredit, right? Just the house raid alone is massively discrediting. Julian Assange, right? I don't know if you guys know who that is. He's the WikiLeaks guy who reported a bunch of news that the US government didn't want to get reported. Then one day, out of nowhere, some Swedish girl said that he raped her. And there's no evidence at all that that happened ever. And I'm pretty sure the charges were dropped and it never even went to court. But by then he ran away and hid in exile in some embassy. He was in that embassy forever. Then they dropped those charges and they added on some new charges about something about
Which embassy would
leaking,
Tate
something
run to?
about leaking sensitive information, like a sort of terrorist thing. So anyway, that's the playbook they played on Assange. Step 2 done. Will they attempt step 3? Because step 3 is if they can't cancel you and if they can't put you in jail
Tate
or if
ended
jail doesn't ruin your influence,
murdered or
the next thing they do is they kill you. They Epstein
That'd be
you.
wild.
They make, and Andrew's clearly said on multiple podcasts he will never kill himself. Andrew knew that this would happen eventually. It was always a possibility on the board. It was always, okay, well, we've done well in not getting canceled. We're not going to shut up because we're going to keep changing lives for the better. And okay, so that means step 2 is jail. And Andrew expressed in many podcasts that he knew that that was the case, and that's why he was worried. And obviously he was worried for a good reason, as we can see now. Because frankly, I'm extremely, extremely surprised this happened. I've been living with the guy forever, and I can tell you guys, it's not true in any way, shape, or form. It's complete, just literal nonsense. I actually can't believe it. It makes me really not trust the justice
Crazy if
system at
all
all
of this
in
was
any way,
just
shape, or
fake.
form.
So that was Luke, the cousin. You may recognize him if you watch the Tate Confidential vlog series. They've been trying to become famous for a long time. They've put this series out for years. They've both been on reality shows. But Luke's the cousin. They flew out to be their videographer. He's in a lot of their videos, spends a lot of time with them. I think he lives with them. So, he knows them better than we do. Anyone who's out online right now saying these guys are good guys, I read in comments of other videos that people act like he would never do this. You don't know these guys. Like we've seen less than 1% of what their life is like. I don't know what they would or wouldn't do. He's admitted to a lot of pretty crappy things online. So I don't know if they're going to use that against him. And Luke, this just all happened before Luke got there, and he really doesn't know. Or if he's just got their back and he's trying to, obviously take care of his family. We don't really know. But all we could do is talk about what we're hearing and what the people closest to them are saying. So I just have one more video to react to. It's the girlfriend. Uh, of Andrew Tate, an ex-girlfriend who lived with him for years, and she has a statement about Andrew as well. So let's take a look at that. We'll come back and wrap it up.
If you don't live under a rock, then I'm pretty sure you know that Andrew Tate has been arrested for human trafficking.
This is the same
in
girl
LA,
that
which
there
is
was a video of him
absolutely
hitting her with a
absurd,
belt, and she said it was
simply
all
for the reasons
consensual.
that it's absolutely false. I have lived with Andrew for years and years, and he
She's
would
definitely
never
got his
do
back.
anything like this, ever. I've already had to make 2 videos regarding his innocence when it came to him being called a woman beater for a video that got leaked of us two having a little bit of a rough role play. I had to make a video 2 videos in fact, clarifying that he is innocent. And here I am again, coming from somebody who lived with him for years. He is not a human trafficker. He would never rape anybody, and he would certainly never ever human traffic anyone either, including his brother. They would never do such thing. I am just so shocked, and I'm so fed up with all of these lies talking about Andrew, that he's a woman beater, that he's a human trafficker, he's raped somebody. It is so false. It's so false that it's upsetting. Even though we're no longer together, it upsets me because I know the person I have lived with. I know who he is, and he is neither of those things, and he does not deserve any of this coming his way.
Well, there you go. There's their cousin Luke. and Andrew's ex-girlfriend. Both apparently have lived with these guys for years. They're saying they're innocent. They're saying they haven't done anything. I don't know. These are really serious charges. If even some of them are true, it's pretty bad, and they should go to jail. I mean, a lot of people are out there saying they've been framed, free them. Look, they've admitted to a lot of this stuff on podcasts. A lot of the stuff that Andrew has said sounds criminal, and it could start becoming to light now. It's really hard to frame someone who's never broken a law, and I don't think a lot of people are that surprised by this happening. Yeah, these guys are heroes to a lot of young men who look, I get it. I've been there. I was I was short in high school. I had a hard time getting girls back then. It's tough. It's frustrating. It's hard to be a guy. You got to prove yourself. You got to get stronger. You got to work harder. Not that it's hard to be a woman too. I totally get it. Um but there's a lot of expectations for a man, and you have to really build yourself up. I agree with that part. And that part of the message resonates with me too, even as a middle-aged guy with kids. I've been motivated to go work out and to try to make more money and get my YouTube channel going. I get it, but you have to separate the message from what these guys have done in their life. And look, maybe some of the stuff like the rape and those things are maybe that's not true. Who knows? I mean, I really hope not. That's horrible. Um, but even if it was just money laundering or coercing women to help with their webcam business or not paying girls who they fired, I mean, it sounds like they've admitted to crimes on podcasts. So whether the very serious stuff is true or not, there's definitely a lot of things that they can come after them with, and it's their own fault. They're talking about these publicly and laughing about it. And so of course he's going to go on these, oh, they're going to arrest me. Step 2 is they're going to arrest me. Yeah, no kidding. He knew these charges had been hanging out over his head and that he was going to get arrested, and so he's very smart. He was teeing it up so that when he did get arrested, he could blame it on the Matrix because he knew that eventually they were going to put a case together against him. And maybe that's why he's been so public and why he's done it, to try to be able to blame it on the Matrix, when it sounds like there was a couple of, young poor kids who worked really hard and worked their way up and cut some corners and scammed some people and did whatever they could to make money and use some ladies or whatever it was. Are we really surprised that that's maybe what they did? So look, hopefully nobody was like really hurt, and it was just some other stuff, but it sounds pretty bad. And I wouldn't be surprised if these guys end up in prison for at least a few years. Like I said, they could get brought back to London or US to face charges too. I think this is something that's going to be going on for a long time. It's why I decided to cover it here on the channel, because it's all out there on the internet, and it seems like everyone's either he's framed or, oh my, yeah, they finally caught him. And look, I don't know anything. I don't know anything that you guys don't know. So anyone who's on either side saying guilty or not guilty, you guys don't know. We don't know the story. We don't really know these guys. They put their life out there on the internet, but that doesn't mean that we know anything about them. So I wanted to post the videos of the people who are closest to them, because that, those are people that really do know them and live with them. But they also could be just trying to help out family and friends and things like that too. So we'll see how this unfolds. I'll keep trying to cover it here at the channel if you guys are cool with that. I'll get back to my TV show breakdowns, and movie stuff will be the main thing here at the channel, but I wanted to try touching on some of this stuff. When I was younger, I always wanted to be a newscaster. So maybe this is potentially an opportunity for that. I don't know. And who knows, I am a single middle-aged guy dating with kids in his 40s. Maybe there's a market out there for helping guys with that, or even girls, who are out there trying to date in middle age. It's tough out there. And a lot of the stuff about getting strong and making money and all of that does help. But there's a lot of other things that you can do too. So we'll see how this unfolds. I'll keep you guys posted. I'll be right there watching with you guys. Yeah, let's wrap it up there. Once again, I'm Brent the Middleman. I'll see you next time. Be nice to me in the comments. Thanks, guys.